Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today, I will be speaking to Vic and KW of the band VILE CREATURE, a sludge and doom metal band from my neck of the woods, or at least pretty damn close to it, in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. We're going to talk about their upcoming album. We're going to talk about all the fun stuff surrounding their upcoming album, and, the state of the world, because, that's always a fun topic, too. There's lots of fun stuff happening out there. So without further ado, here they are. Hello, how are you? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Hi, this is how I'm recording stuff because I'm a moron. It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Where in Canada are you?
I'm from Mississauga.
Oh shit, not far from us.
No, not far at all. Although admittedly I haven't been to Hamilton in a while.
Yeah, just down the Q8.
Oh yeah, so I guess first things first, this feels like the obligatory thing I have to ask. How's life in quarantine?
Well, we're still running our business. We're not, isolated and stuck in our house. We're doing stuff. I actually just went on a march, so it felt pretty normal, other than hundreds of people wearing masks.
Oh, protests in Hamilton? I'm sorry, protest march in Hamilton?
Yeah, there's just one, a couple hours ago.
Oh, wow, wonderful. We've had a couple in Mississauga, but nothing major. I think a couple hundred people somewhere on Mississauga Road. That's it.
That's awesome, though. I mean, Mississauga's huge, but it's nice to see that there's people doing stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, any amount of people calling for action is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame that it took this long for people to really get, I don't know what the right word is, pumped up. But, I mean, this is unlike anything I've ever seen in my lifetime, at least.
Yeah, I feel like, getting new people into the fold of anti-oppressive and, anti-racist work is always good. And, hopefully this just, is a domino effect of getting other people, and on board with lifelong commitment to fighting oppression.
Absolutely. Because the last thing we need is for another person to die in the streets at the hands of a shitty ass cop.
Yep, I agree with that completely.
What does when I search you guys on Facebook, Bandcamp, anything like that, one of the first terms that pops up, angry queer gloom cult. I love that term. What does that term mean to you specifically? Assume that I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
If you don't know, then you if you have to ask, then you're not part of the cult.
Fair enough.
It was a good recovery there. I'm trying to think of something quick and witty, and there's the guy, and then back to it. Yeah, I don't know. It was something that we came up with 5 years ago as just a small little tagline for if people ask what our band is like, and I feel like it, Vic listens to a lot of cult podcasts. I said podcasts. A lot of cult podcasts. We're both very queer. It's sometimes gloomy outside, and we're not very angry in general, but we're our music's angry, yeah. I guess.
We just never had a lot of friends, so we just want to create our own cult.
And the Angry Queer Gloom Cult is the two of us and the 6 cats and 1 dog that we have in our house.
And everyone who likes us,
I guess. It was a snappy tagline that I think really stuck.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I think I even saw, I believe it's in the profile picture for Facebook. You've got it on the back of a jacket, too. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we did a bunch of those on shirts, and it's definitely, we've had to reprint that shirt a ton of times. So it's nice that there's a lot of people walking around with Angry Queer Gloom Cult on the back of their shirt. It makes me very happy anytime I think about it.
Wonderful. You filmed your first ever music video for You Who Has Never Slept, which featured masked figures in red robes and a dancer in a near-empty theater. Does this visually symbolize anything within the song's lyrics?
We wanted to actually do it a little bit visually and musically separate from the actual lyrical content. But we're a huge believer when it came out when it came to putting out this album to leave it open-ended for interpretation. So I feel like that has more power to, I don't know, just like captivate people when they could create their own meaning.
I like that. Just total agreement. Just like, yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, because
it's just fully separated. We just came up with a concept that we really liked, and it wasn't based on the lyrics or anything. We didn't want to go like literal, so it was fun to kind of keep them separated and make something that stands on its own, but also follows the pace of the music. Yeah. So that was really nice.
I think too, like this is their first video, and we wanted to make it not complicated doing the actual filming and thinking about it lining up with each lyric. So yeah, that would have been a little complicated for our first musical foray. So,
and not to mention, like, our shortest song is 8 minutes long, which I think is "You Who Has Never Slept." So anytime we make a music video, it's kind of a short film.
Yeah. So I really hope we could do more, because working with people and seeing them do what they're like, what they're good at when it comes to like every aspect of filmmaking. I want to be involved in that more.
Yeah.
No, the short film's a great term for it, because that's how I felt. Like the red robed figures, the dancer, how she was reacting to the music. It was incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of that credit goes to Anita, who played the dancer. She's actually the stunt coordinator for, since you're in Ontario, the Stratford Festival.
Mm-hmm.
She's the stunt coordinator for the whole Stratford Festival. For those who are not in Southern Ontario, like you and us are, it's a very large theater festival that happens every year in Stratford, Ontario. And Anita's one of the coordinators for stunts there. She's trained as a ballerina. She does stunts on a lot of Canadian TV shows, and she really, we gave her a bunch of direction, and she really took it to heart and just knocked it out of the park. So all that credit goes to her and Raisa and Dave, who were the team behind filming and editing it.
With a VHS version of the record coming out, does this mean we can expect more music videos for each of the songs?
If you have the VHS, it will have visuals, like a visual video for each of the song, except the actual music video is on there, and there is a really fun transition from the visuals into the music video, and then another fun transition out of the music video back into the visuals. We just put out the video for the title tracks, Glory, Glory, and Apathy Took Helm, and that's taken directly from the VHS. So that's the other songs on the record follow that kind of, follow that as a blueprint.
Okay. I mean, I that was a really cool video too. I loved seeing the shots of the mountains and the landscapes, and all of a sudden you'd have this choir belting out and those thick, metallic, sludgy guitars. It was genuinely pretty epic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was really important that we figured out doing different kind of visuals to accompany the music, and I feel like we're really happy with the things that we were able to collaborate on the record for.
Yeah, Andrew Notch is the person who put he did the visual video, as well. He did all of he directed the VHS and did the visuals for all of those. We played a festival in the Netherlands called Roadburn last year, and every stage they have at Roadburn has a big video backdrop wall. So we had Andrew do the big video backdrop for our set, and it was absolutely beautiful.
It's funny because we didn't actually get to see it,
period.
It's behind us.
Yeah, but we got to look at it and be like, this is amazing. We'll have no idea what it's going to look like live, except for some stills of us playing with it in the background. But it was really beautiful, and we knew we wanted to work with him on something like that again. So it was really exciting to to have him do it, and he knocked it out of the park. We're very fortunate to have benefited through every aspect of this record, whether it's the music videos, the art, the VHS, just everything. We've had such a wonderful team of people who have been just as passionate as us about creating something, and it's been really eye-opening to be a two-piece band with like an extended family of like 10 or 12 people who like nothing could have happened without. So it's been really fun.
That's incredible. That title track, Glory, Glory, Apathy Took Helm. This is a bit mouthy, so bear with me. You said the intention behind writing it was to summarize the intense weight constantly pushing down on the shoulders of those who consistently stand up for what they believe in, and how dealing with that weight and continually pushing against it yields real-world change. Comes from a place of lifelong activism, the constant yearn to be better, learn more, and evolve. Do you think that this is made all the more poignant by the pro-Black Lives Matter protests happening right now in the midst of Pride Month?
I guess so. Like, the song was written a long time ago, and both Vic and I have been, like, politically active people for a really long time, whether it be doing frontline work or support work, or monetary support. We're both just very, like, politically engaged people, I think is fair to say.
Yeah. Those words that you wrote, I feel like, were reflecting on us putting out music that is about apathy, essentially. And so it feels weird to be promoting a record during this time, but we still wanted to go ahead with it because we think I feel like people need music in order to, like, exist, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not that, like, everybody needs an escape. And right, like, everybody needs an escape, and we've talked about that forever. And, like, you know, the record was originally supposed to come out on June 5th. I think it was. Yes. And it got pushed back a couple weeks because of COVID-19 and everything getting canceled. And there was a potential chance that the record was going to get pushed to later in the year or early next year. But we were all really passionate about getting it out now and not sitting on it, and felt like what the record was about fit within the, like, zeitgeist of the moment. At that time, it was just quarantine and pandemic and people being scared. As things have progressed with the, like, album promotion, obviously this, like, very just and wonderful uprising is happening in North America. And like Vic just said a little bit ago, it's really weird to have to promote something and try to get people to buy something in a time when people should genuinely be focusing on supporting Black artists, Black causes, and, like, the fight for, at a bare minimum, equality throughout North America. But as a band that has never shied away from being political and has consistently put ourselves out there personally and politically, I felt like the statement that you read from is something that I wrote because we were both feeling a little weird about putting out something in the middle of this movement, but we wanted to clarify our intentions and talk about the place that this stuff came from as a means of giving perspective. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
If it makes you feel better, every person I've talked to in the last month or two that's releasing a record has felt just as weird. They're just like, oh yeah, go buy the record, but also wash your hands and stay inside.
Yeah, there's really no script for, like, dealing with, you know, going about your daily life and figuring out ways to, like, make things work during a pandemic. So yeah, kudos to everyone out there just trying their best. Just trying to survive. Trying the best. Trying the best.
Ask me a question.
On a similar note, and I think you may have already answered this kind of, but do you think the album itself and its themes of moral nihilism are made poignant as well in these times?
I'm just gonna flat out, like, I it's not a cop-out, but I'm just gonna say yes.
Yes. Could you repeat the question? I have the tendency to just go off on my own tangent.
Oh, no worries at all. My brain is a constant roller coaster, so trust me, I know the feeling. Do you think the album itself and its themes of moral nihilism are made more poignant in these times?
I think what our music is just an offering to people, and hopefully an encouraging beacon of light to fight back against like inner nihilism, which might take the form of moral nihilism. I don't know how people, if moral nihilism is actually a huge threat, you know, but I feel like we kind of have to kill the inner nihilist in all of us.
Okay, I like that. I like that there's just a big cat now too.
Yeah.
I don't.
This is common.
How could you care about nihilism when there's this cat in the world?
That's totally fair. I don't know if I usually do audio interviews, so I don't know if this will end up in the video itself. But for those of you watching at home, there's a cat, and it's very nice.
Yeah.
This is kosher.
Yes, a big orange friendly cat.
Is that one of the honorary members of the band you mentioned before?
Yes, that is one of our that's one of our extended families. We have 6 cats and a dog here.
Oh wow, that's a busy household.
Yeah, they're all
bumping.
Yeah, it's definitely bumping. Right now, within my sights, there is 2 cats sleeping on a cat tree, a dog sleeping on a floor. Kaushik, who is just on my lap, is now cleaning themselves on the floor, and that's all I see at the moment.
Awesome. That's something I really wish I could have right about now, a dog. It'd be a nice little friend.
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Highly recommend adopting a dog. It would be very hard to do on your own. I'm glad that we could co-parent a dog together. Best decision ever.
It was great, and no matter what happens, like when your dog eats so much grass that it gets stuck in their butt, and you have to hold down the dog while your partner puts their hands in the dog's butt to pull the grass out.
With a glove on.
Sure, with a glove on. I'm making earphones.
This is worth it.
In the dog's butt to pull all that grass out because it's blocking them. I love it's worth every moment.
Yeah, that total made up thing that did not happen.
That definitely did not happen 20 minutes before we hopped on this call.
I am exaggerating. That did not happen. Ignore the grass. It did not happen.
None of this happened. Nothing to see here. Mosey on.
Shortly after the new album was announced, a few fans went out of their way to recreate the album art after you had apparently challenged them. I don't know if you actually did, because I can't find the post, but I can definitely see that some of them are very interesting. How does this make you feel, and do you have a favorite of these?
I fucking love it. Can I say fucking on the internet?
Absolutely you can.
I fucking love it. I made a joke on... so there's this website. It's called the Twitter.
Yes, the Twitter.
The Twitter, and you post things, like you just put some text on it. You can't put a lot of text on it, but you can put some text on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I put some text on that was just like, the Glory Apathy took Helm challenge is recreate the album cover but use anything other than worms. This was like 2 days or maybe the day after we put out the album art, and there was a really large reaction to the album art. We got dozens upon dozens of entries, and they were pretty amazing. What was your favorite of them, Vic?
I don't know.
You do not have time to scroll through all of them right now.
Probably the person who actually did a whole backdrop.
Yeah, there were a couple people who faithfully recreated it, and I think most of them used spaghetti, but they did the full flower behind the ear and the makeup and used a backdrop.
Yeah, the one with spaghetti, and they actually they didn't necessarily Photoshop everything. They just recreated it from. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Very.
I'm partial to the one with the hockey pucks in the mouth, but that's just because I'm a big hockey guy.
Right, yeah.
That one's pretty good, too.
Good.
I gotta say, my favorite is the one where this person was just screw it, I'm gonna basically MS Paint this whole thing, and there's blue lines all around their head, and it looks like a little cocktail umbrella, and just these purple lines right out of their mouth. Just I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm not getting spaghetti all over my face. I'm not getting tomato sauce all over my face. Screw that.
Yeah, it's no competition. Everyone wins.
Can I do say that my favorite one? There's one that hasn't been put out yet. That is so all the our label's called Prosthetic Records, and there's a bunch of wonderful people that work with the label. But Becky, Steve, and EJ are the three main people that we talk to there. Becky runs the label in Europe. Steve runs the label in the U.S., and EJ is one of the owners. They all had a conversation together, being like, "We should all do this. It would be fun." Oh yeah.
Did they?
And I'm telling the story now. You'll hear the end of it in a second. If you're interrupting me. So they all had a conversation, and EJ is such a wonderful person, but it's very not his type of thing to do that. And as it turns out, he was the only person who did it, and he had his 10-year-old do all of the drawings. It's also like an MS Paint style coming out of his mouth. He had his 10-year-old do all the drawings of things coming out of his mouth, and I still have it.
Yeah, showed it to me.
They did. You just forgot.
Oh, I won't forget that. No.
It's like, I did. You just
call any
you
of
can't.
them when I asked what your favorite was, so you kind of proved yourself wrong on that.
It's all a blur.
There it is. But yeah, so that was pretty great. I love the fact that EJ was the only one who ended up doing it out of the three of them.
Everyone else is a coward.
All cowards. I'm calling out Steve. I'm calling out Becky. You're both cowards.
God damn. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll hear about this and they'll be like, all right, challenge accepted, and you'll get a big group photo of everyone at Prosthetic Records.
I am going to get such an angry email once this interview comes out. Why did you just call me out and say my name?
We're going to have a very frank talk about what you just said on the Metal Meltdown.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't be, they would all just laugh a lot because they've all been really wonderful, but it would be funny if that happened.
Whose idea was the gummy worms? Because that's got to be one of the most genius marketing things I've ever seen. Honest to God.
You should really be like a CEO of like some dumb company.
I am. It's the bakery that we own.
Yeah,
Technically.
you would never call yourself a CEO of a small business like that. Okay.
So anything that comes from the band that seems like a really dumb idea is generally mine. I pride myself on making myself laugh. And yeah, I came up with the idea to do the gummy worms. Vic was gung-ho about that one, which was nice. You're pretty stoked on it. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, surprisingly. My first reaction usually is like, no, like, I don't want that.
I like that it's like surprisingly like, oh, well, at least it's not gummy bears.
Yeah, gummy bears. Fucking pleb.
Well, I come up with a lot of really stupid ideas, and I'll pitch them to Vic, and Vic's reaction is usually, no. And then certain ones I'm like, well, I'm doing this, I'll show it to you when it's done. And then when it's done, I show it to Vic.
Well, that's so egalitarian. Well,
yeah, this isn't a democracy. I'm the
you're
dictator.
A
I'm the dictator of stupid merchandise.
Yeah. When you have a two-piece band, there's bound to someone's gonna dominate.
You heard it here. Vile Creature is pro-dictatorship.
As we speak.
Because there's a million ants on our coffee table from flowers you brought in from outside without checking them.
You're such a dictator. You're just killing ants everywhere. Stop it!
You heard it here. Vile Creature is pro-dictatorships.
Yeah.
That is a headline we do not need said out loud. Yeah, no, so back to the worms, okay? Enough about ants, enough about dictatorships.
Dictators aren't very fun. Let's talk about gummy worms.
The dictator is taking over this conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had the idea to do some, like, version of something funny for the record. We came up with the idea of gummy worms and made the packaging and got the worms, and we always knew that we were going to do them on the first Friday in June, because Bandcamp does the first Friday in May, June, and July, they drop their revenue share to help artists. And obviously this, again, very just uprising has started, so it just made sense to do the donation towards like the national bail funds. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was really great. We were able to raise $1,312 for it.
Really? That much?
Yes.
That's incredible. That's a lot of gummy worms. My God.
Yeah, there's a lot of gummy worms. Well, it was set up so we were selling them for $13.12. Or more, and good few people gave more. It was really cool. It was very much like we didn't donate anything other than like packing and shipping worms. It was all of the really rad people that like this dumb idea and maybe appreciate our band or just wanted to like not get something for donating money, but donate in an interesting and different way. They're all the people who donated the money. We just facilitated it.
Yes, thank you. If anyone's listening who has gummy worms, are you going to eat them? Are you going to keep them?
Are they going to go on your wall or in your record shelf?
I like to imagine...
I would have no self-control. I would eat them and then feel sad.
You probably save the packaging, though, for at least a year and then forget where it is and then get thrown out of the box.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like people are probably going to recreate that album art with those gummy worms.
I would bet that it's going to happen at least once.
Oh my god, I hope so.
I've got one more question for you, and then I'll let you go unless there's anything else you want to talk about or whatever. I've spoken to a lot of metalheads that believe that metal has no place for politics or social justice, and given how active you are, given how much your beliefs and lifestyle have impacted your music, how would you respond to these people, especially in these times?
You're fucking clown shoes.
Whoo! Getting straight to the point.
Yeah, I don't think there's even like a reasonable response in our opinion, because it's just kind of like, oh, I feel like a lot of these people are too far gone for me to want to engage with that. What about you? What do you
Yeah, what's your what's your I have more thoughts, but my general thought is you are fucking clown shoes for having that opinion, but what is your opinion on that?
I think that politics and heavy metal and rock and roll itself are intrinsically tied together. They can't be separated even if you did try, and to ignore one is foolish, particularly when even if a band isn't politically motivated, supporting that band can still have political consequences. Like, maybe you're not a Nazi, but maybe if you buy a Burzum record, you're supporting a Nazi, you know?
Yeah, it's a weird double-edged rule, because people who are like, keep politics out of metal, it's just like, those are the same people who try to separate the art from the artist, but then when people who have like left-wing politics are saying stuff, then they're like, you need to keep politics out of the music. You know what I'm trying to say?
I find that happens a lot, yes.
Well, I just think it's like really ridiculous when people are like, no, black metal's about talking about burning churches. I'm like, that's fucking political in nature, you piece of shit.
Oh yeah, that's terrorism also, by definition. That's like he did that with the intent to terrorize.
It's just like bands like Burzum and Screwdriver are far right political. It's all politics. I mean, like the Rob Halford coming out as gay in one of the defining heavy metal bands, that was political. Like, that's specifically political. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that like the vocal stylings of all metal acts is derived from Screamin' Jay Hawkins, one of the first artists to kind of scream and vocal fry in a song, and he's a black artist that a lot of goths and a lot of metal people stole stuff from, and you don't really talk about it a lot. Sister Rosetta Tharpe is one of the most metal guitarists of all time.
I think that when people seek out music that doesn't like make them uncomfortable and it seems neutral and safe to them, potentially to like them, I feel like that is inherently also political, because by omitting to say things about the world, or choosing to be neutral as an artist, I feel like as in some political dialogue that goes along with it. So
yeah, it's political. Yeah. Like, saying that you're neutral in politics when it comes to like metal and music is basically saying I'm a doormat. You can do whatever you want on top of it.
And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that the personal is political, and politics goes beyond electoral and governmental stuff. I think every day when you have like marginalized identities, you can't escape the reality that politics interacts with your life and affects it. So I think that people who don't understand that really need to dig deeper and figure out why that makes them angry about, like, politics in general. Just like, I think they need to do some more reading and educating themselves.
I agree.
AKA clown shoes.
AKA clown shoes. The next time you have an interview, and you will, with an artist that starts talking about politics being out of metal or it's not for them, please tell them that Vile Creature says, you're fucking
clown
like,
shoes.
Say it in a really nice, like a nice question that you've been posing us, where you're like, oh, okay, so how would you respond to the band Vile Creature calling you clown shoes?
Yeah, specifically you saying you are clown shoes. You can either say that we call them clown shoes, or that they're the human embodiment of the font Comic Sans.
Hold on, let me get a pen and paper. I gotta write this down.
You're recording this audio. You don't need to write it down.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. That's actually a very good point. Just goes to show how much
all these things with the understanding that we're being recorded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You make a good point. You make a good point though. When people like to be leave politics out of music, but then when it's like, well, I'm gonna say something that maybe leans ever so slightly to the left, and it's like, what? But if it's, well, now I feel like I'm gonna lean slightly to the right, it's like, speak of truth. Hell yeah! It's like, what do you want? Leave politics out of music or don't? Make up your mind.
Yeah, totally. It's mind blowing that people could be very ignorant, and I'm very fortunate to seemingly be surrounded by people who are outspoken about things. So I feel like my opinions are validated. Maybe that's an echo chamber, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather be like that than surrounded by family members who are bigots.
No argument there. I've got family members that could maybe learn a thing or two in these weird dark times.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I think that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for your time, guys. It's been wonderful speaking to you. I'm looking forward to hearing the full record. And yeah, I think that's it. Anything else you'd like to say to the fine people out there?
Defund the police.
Black Lives Matter. Black trans lives matter.
Absolutely.
And if you think politics should stay out of metal, you are clown shoes.
You are fucking clown shoes. Put that on a t-shirt. There's an idea.
Oh, there's too many memes of it already, but it is one of my favorite things to call people. What is it? The line, you are Comic Sans made human, is one of my favorite things to yell at, Nazi protesters. I really love saying that to them. It bugs the shit out of them.
I'm gonna start saying that too. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah. Yep. Or your arguments make as much sense as web dings. I love font-based humor. I'm a big fan of font-based insults.
Yeah, wow, that's really specific. Okay.
I like that you're just sitting there too, just like, I'm gonna let them have this little rant about font and comedy. I'm gonna let them do that.
He's a dictator. This is what the dictatorship of KW looks like. It's everyone being called clown shoes and
Comic Sans.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, have a lovely night. Okay.
You too. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye. That was Vile Creature, and you heard it here first, folks. Black Lives Matter. You're fucking clown shoes. So yeah, that'll be it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Maybe in the future I'll learn how to do video interviews properly and efficiently so we can see big silly cats, because that might have been fun. You have yourself a fantastic fucking day. Wash your hands, stay safe, and... Did I already say have a fantastic fucking day? I'll say it again. You guys have yourselves a fantastic fucking day.